Good morning, folks. What we doing down here on the creek, slipping around, doing a little squirrel hunting. What I'm doing is slipping down this creek because these tupelo gums seems to be what they're feeding on the most. But what I do is you just kind of stand still, watch, and then I'll move to the next tree in a little bit if I don't see nothing. And you want to move slow. You'll happen to notice I won't be wearing no shoes. Some folks call that cheating. But you can be a lot quieter and move a lot slower. You see more. When we get on one here in a minute, we'll try to get some footage of us shooting one. And then I'll show you later on this evening how to clean one. I'm watching right here, but I can't tell. I think that's a bird. But I'm gonna try to get a little bit of footage here, there, and yonder. We just had a duck come in, land right here beside us. See that water moving? Wood duck landed right there. He's sitting dead still in that water. He knows I ain't supposed to be here probably. We just gonna stand here a minute, see if we can find us a squirrel. He decided he'd ease on the other way. Alright. Not sure if all of you's familiar with finding a wolf in a squirrel. I've killed 5 or 6. But if you ever hear somebody talk about a wolf or a bad squirrel, that's what they're talking about. This is common early in the year. It's a parasite that gets under the skin. It really don't hurt the meat. But I'm probably not gonna eat this squirrel. That's just my personal. I was taught not to eat them. Game wardens, biologists have told us that it don't hurt the meat at all. It gets between the skin, but I just wanted, if you'd never seen a bad squirrel, or one with a wolf, it's like a worm that's under there. Be a big old knot, see how that's swelled up looking? That's what you call a bad squirrel. Hear them acorns dropping. He's right up in there. I see a limb shake every once in a while. I'm gonna try to zoom. See that shaking? He's right in there. But I hadn't actually laid eyes on him. See that limb shaking? We fixing to see if we can get a shot at him. I'm gonna try to get it on film now. Y'all just gonna have to bear with me. I'm trying to watch and look at the camera and shoot. Do all this one-handed, so if I don't get it on film, forgive me. But I know he's up there somewhere. If he'll shake that limb some more. trying to be still and not let him see me, but I don't have a whole lot of cover right here where I'm standing. But he's being very, very still. When he gets through with that acorn he's eating, he'll go up there and grab him another one. And that's when he shakes them limbs. He's tearing them off, eating them. I'm gonna ease back over this way. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna see if I can slip over here to this tree. Back up. I'm trying to tiptoe everything I do. Alright, I don't know if we any better off here or not. I know which limb he's on. He's on right up in there, dead center of my camera right now. But I can't actually see him. Let me. Alright, I'm gonna ease backwards. Trying to stay under cover. Trying not to bump a bunch of limbs. He is somewhere up there on that forked limb. Alright, I'm gonna try to see if I can find him. He's somewhere right in there. See if we see that limb shake again. He may have done come down that limb. He may have seen me moving. Alright, I'm slipping a little bit forward here. I'm trying to see if I can get a leg on him. Alright, I'm trying to find him. I still can't see him. I can see the limb shaking, but I can't see the squirrel. Oh, I see him now. There he went. Hit the ground. Boy, he made it work for him, didn't he? That's a pretty long shot. The time you 20 yards over here and then 50 yards up a tree. Oh yeah. Let's hope he ain't got no wolf in him. Let me zoom the camera back out. There he lays. Uh-oh. You see that? He has had one in him, but I think it has left him. We're gonna probably take him with us. I can't stand to waste these squirrels. We kind of took us a break right here. Stopped by this little old creek, have us a little coffee we had in a thermos. I like my coffee. When you leave for daylight, you don't get to drink much of it. So. Like these old antique thermos. I believe I got a squirrel right here in a tree beside me. Yeah. Eat up there. Here. What we done is got up about 8:30, pushing 9 o'clock. They quit running around a whole lot. They pretty well where they gonna be for the morning, and they just sitting up there eating. So there ain't a whole lot of movement. So at this time of day, you got to really slow down and be patient. All this morning, I've been moving fast. That's why I hadn't filmed a lot up until now. And Cause see, right now I hear him, he's throwing hickory nuts and stuff in that water. I believe that's a hickory tree. No, that's a big red oak. Somebody just unloaded. Hear a few shots around still, but it's quieting down a lot. It was like a war zone this morning, about 6:30 to 8 o'clock, 6:30 to 7, quarter after 7. It was hot. We're gonna stand here in just a minute, drink this little bit of coffee, see if I see this rascal move somewhere. I did see one deer. I walked right up on her laying down on the creek bank. He's up there in that tree moving around, but the wind gets started blowing and it's hard to see. It's hard to see them limbs moving. When it's still, you'll see a limb shake, you know he's there. It's easy to find him then. Now all the limbs is moving a little bit, so you're not spotting movement. You've got to literally see the squirrel or hear them hulls hitting the ground. I just seen one over yonder shake a limb, so I've stood right here and I've got two scoped out. I'm just gonna hang tight till I see which one I get the chance to kill first. Sometimes you can get a double. In other words, if you stand here and watch two squirrels, you can get them, wait till you can see them both, and then you can shoot this one, and if you're fast enough, while that one takes off running, you can shoot him. This one here, he's making a lot of racket. We fixing to get him here directly. He's throwing a lot of stuff on the ground. I'm fixing to have to finish this, see if I can get him. Yeah, he's steadily throwing stuff. Let's see if we... All right. We've got our limit of squirrels. You can have 8 in Mississippi on the morning. You can kill another 8 this afternoon. That makes for 16 squirrels in one day, which is a good many squirrels. I'm gonna show you right quick how to go about cleaning one of them. What seems to be the fastest way for me and the best way. Everybody has been taught how to do it different ways. This is actually not the way I was taught how to do it. But this seems to be the fastest and the best way. Let me adjust this camera up just a hair. All right. But I got them where you can see the tails. I usually save these tails just thing. I've got a few that I had hanging up. What I do is I take this squirrel, and the very first thing is I cut his feet off, his front feet. Now I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but what I'm gonna do is I usually just lay it on this table, push down. It'll pop that right off, and I cut it right down there next to his hand, paw, whatever you call it. I got that cut. Now, I pick this squirrel up and I hold him and I put my thumb right down here next to his vent. Cut right across there. Okay, now when I cut, you turn, angle your knife, and I'm doing this slow. I can do it a lot faster than this. I'm trying to do it slower for the camera. And I cut up the hip a little bit. What you want to do is you want to start. Let me turn this back down. I didn't realize which way I was going to be going with this. But I angle this back up this hip a little bit on both sides. I still got my finger right here up under the tail, thumb, and I got him held upside down somewhat. Okay, you want to take it, you want to cut across, and you're going to take your knife, and you're going to find one of these joints right down in here next to where the tail connects to the backbone, and you want to cut through that. But you want to be careful now, don't cut through the hide. That's why I leave my finger there, because you want to slow down doing this part right here. 2 reasons. You don't want to cut your finger, but you don't want to cut through that hide either. All right, I'm going to cut just a little more up this leg. All right. Now what I do, and this is how you keep from getting hair all on this. So pay close attention. You grab this squirrel by his back legs, by this tail, and you pull. And you stop right there. Okay? Now this hand, if I got hair on it, you wipe it off on your britches right good. That's the reason you cut that hand off. You pulled him completely loose right there. Okay. Now, wipe your hand off before you grab the meat. Make sure you ain't got no hair, because that hair is hard to get through. Now you grab the hide right down here. Sometimes it pulls loose further up the belly. That's usually better. But this one pulled loose down low, so you grab right down here and you can pull right down, and see I've pulled basically his pants off. All right, now what I do, I lay him back on this table. I pop the back of that knife, and that's Roscoe's part. He gets them legs. I cut the private parts of the squirrel off. Roscoe gets that. I usually do all of that first. That way, any of these males, especially anything, these glands and stuff, that way it don't get on the meat. Cut all of that loose. Okay, now, no hair. This is the way I do it. Some people eat these heads, some people don't. I don't necessarily eat them, but for my skinning and I want to save these hides, I just pull that head meat, the skin, slam off of that head. Now what I do is I'll cut the head off. If you want to eat the heads, a lot of people eat these brains. I don't eat them. Roscoe gets that part too. Now, I usually start with my knife and I split this rib cage right here open from the top. And then with this knife, you see this drop point on it? If you can tell, this is my Osage knife that I built. With that drop point, it's kind of pointed where I can go right down through there, and then I can wedge it under that hip bone, pop that slammer loose. Now see, this one is still full of urine. I'm gonna cut that loose and save it because I trap, and I'll mix that in with some scent that I'm making and some lure. The heart, I pull the heart out to the side right here. And if your table's clean, you can kind of lay it down and cut it off, but that goes in my bucket. I eat the heart. Everything else the dogs get to eat, and they'll pretty well clean every bit of this up. Roscoe's mad at me this morning because I didn't take him with me. I can kill more squirrels than he can. All right, but that's pretty well simply it. Now what you want to do if you're going to save this hide is usually I take them over there and salt them all down, but what I'll do is I'll leave them inside out, and I'll hang them up right over here on my nail. And I'll finish cleaning these off camera, but I just wanted to give y'all a quick tutorial on skinning these. There's a lot of people a different way, but you can see this meat. I'll take it and wash it, but there's no hair hardly at all on that, the way I did that. So if you got a way you'd rather clean them, you clean them like you want to, but if you're looking for an easy way to do it, for me, that seems to be what works the best. we're gonna get all these peeled. We having a cooking down on the creek bank. Everybody that went hunting around in the community this morning is gonna gather up down at the creek bank and cook squirrels. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean all mine and carry them down here in this ice cream bucket, let them cook them down there. So we probably won't show any cooking today, but I'll do some more videos later. We'll do a catch and cook, and I'll show you how I prepare them and fry them up. And I may get some footage down there, I don't know. There's just a lot of people down there, it'll be hard to film. But thank y'all for watching my squirrel hunting video. Like, subscribe, help us get this stuff out. If you enjoy what I'm doing, if you got some other hunts you want to see me do, or stuff on the trap line or whatever, we're gonna start trapping over in November when it kicks off. We've got a couple of coyote sets. In fact, we pulled most of them up. We're gonna tinker on the traps a little bit, and we may do some more footage on that. But thank y'all for watching my videos. I appreciate your likes and subscribe. But if you hadn't liked these videos, reach down there and hit that like. It helps move these videos up where other people can see them.